guys, how's it going and welcome back. So Kevy got a new toy, thanks to my father. I got his 2009, it's late 2009, MacBook Pro off of him the other day, and soon to be getting his kick-ass tower too. Anyways, he's getting a new computer, so I got this one and I'll be getting his tower. So anyways, for those of you who want to put your OS up to date, or let's say you had a really bad crash and you know that very sad and ugly Mac frown that happens, or may not happen anymore. I don't know what they do anymore when they're sad, but they used to be a big, you know, sad face going, no OS. Anyways, whatever, you have a bad crap out and your OS won't fire up, you got to reformat and reload. And you got an older Mac. Here's where things go a little snaky on you. If you do not have a CD version of your operating system, you're going to have a real fun time, okay, trying to get an OS back on there, because even Yosemite is no longer on the website at Apple for download. So you can find the files through searching the internet somehow. If you have another computer in the house, that's always a bonus. We have a few computers kicking around, so one way or another we're safe no matter what happens. But this one here, I got it from my dad, and I wanted to get rid of all his old crap that was on here, and I wanted to freshly and cleanly reinstall the OS. And at the time, he did not give me the OS install CDs, which turns out to be Snow Leopard, and I don't know what, he blanked it. So anyways, he calls me up there the other night, and he says, Cav, I found the CDs. I'm like, good, because I'm tired of looking at a naked hard drive that just keeps going boot. Oh, would you like to put Yosemite in? Oh, I'm sorry, we can't give it to you. It's not available anymore. You know that famous error? You know, can't find it. Anyways, so he got, I went to his house, drove there, got the CDs, came home, got Snow Leopard on, and there's a few other files that I had to download. I'm going to show you this stuff as we go here. I got a few thumb drives full of stuff on my computer. No updates available? Yeah, I'm sure. I got software updates to do yet. Anyways, so I looked at videos all over the place, okay? And I found this one particular video where a guy talks about using DiskMaker X version 5, and you need to download the install OSX Yosemite.zip file, okay? And you can create a bootable USB thumb drive and reinstall Yosemite clean. Now, it only puts on the core OS and probably a couple other things. I don't know exactly what goes in, but I already had Leopard put back in here. Now, I could not get these two programs to cooperate on my iMac because I'm running macOS High Sierra. So I found the High Sierra compatible version of DiskMaker X. It's actually called DiskMaker X7, and it actually works. But it had a problem with this file that he got us to download, and it wouldn't create the thumb drive. It said something about some alias error. Now, a lot of people had problems. They were putting posts on his video. I got this problem, I got that problem. Or one guy or two guys, it worked great, it worked awesome, thank you so much, blah, 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 right? You know, we all get these comments, which is great. So I thought, you know what, I've tried everything else that I could think of to get it on here. I even downloaded Mavericks. I could not even get Maverick OS to load into this sucker. It was like, oh my god. So I couldn't update from Leopard. And you have to have a certain amount of Leopard in your computer before you can go direct into Yosemite, right? So that's why I thought Maverick. And even with a separate startup drive, which I created, you know, I've got this drive here, created a startup disk, so it's got a full OS on it. Even doing that and taking mine offline did not work. I was like, oh man. So I thought, you know what, let's try it. This is the last resort, man. If this doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. So I unzipped the install OSX Yosemite file that we were all told to get. And it gives us the install OSX Yosemite installer. Now, if your Leopard is not up to date, okay, or if you have Mavericks, you should be fine because it's above. But if you have Leopard, and it's not up to date, get your OS up to date, because you need, I believe it's 10.6 10.6.8 I think is what you need. And because, you know, you remember those old signs? Well, we still have them, I guess. The no smoking sign, it's got the circle and then the line across with the cigarette. Well, you get that sort of a thing in the middle of the Yosemite icon here, except no cigarette, just says, forget it. You can't launch it, it won't let you do it. So you've got to get your updates up high enough so that disappears. Then you put this file onto a stick with your Active Leopard OS there, and you fire it up, and it will install perfect. No problems. I was so happy, and I don't know how well you're going to see this in the video, but I am running OSX Yosemite 10.10.5. Okay, and I have a Mac Pro 17-inch, mid-2009. Oh, I thought it was late 2009. Well, mid's good enough. Anyways, 2.8 gigahertz core duo, 4 gigs of RAM. I need more RAM. And I've got a half a terabyte drive in this thing that came with it, as well as NVIDIA GeForce 9600M GT 512 megabyte video. Anyways, good for a lot of games, but some suck. Anyways, so I downloaded all this mess of files. Now, there's some of these I actually don't even need now, but I'm keeping them there anyways, because you never know, I could just forget how to do something one of these days and go, oh wait, maybe I should do that first. So this is my initial backup. I've got to put all these files yet back onto my iMac and burn them to DVD. Now, this stick here, this will contain one and one only file. Now, you have to have your startup drive online when you run Yosemite. And this is just the core operating system that it's going to give you. It's not going to give you up-to-date apps like your GarageBand, your iMovie. You'll get all that crap when you put Snow Leopard in anyways. And just try running your apps later that you did have, and whatever doesn't work, well, you update it, of course, separately. So I'm going to have some apps I'm going to have to update anyhow, so I don't really care. But, you know, hey, whatever. It's the way it goes. So we'll wait till that decides to kick itself out here. It's the only thing about these things, some of these thumb drives, they eject quick, and some of them are slow as molasses. So, now the other thing here, we got one more thumb drive here to show you. Now, I would not personally recommend staying with Yosemite because Apple's technically not supporting it anymore. Like, you can't get a download from their website. You can still get some of the updates, and then that's it. You're going to have to go to the next level up. Now, El Capitan is still on the Apple servers for download. You should have no problem getting El Capitan down. If not, you'll have to Google search the hell out of the internet and find it, and it'll be the same sort of deal. But hopefully you don't have to. Now, I have an iMac, late 2013 model, and it originally came with Yosemite, and I upgraded to El Capitan. And of course, they got rid of Yosemite off the server, so they now give me for free download El Capitan. And I can download that and burn it to CD. I am running Mac OS High Sierra right now on my iMac, and I actually like it. It's stable. But you really do need 16 gigs of RAM in your iMac if you want any performance out of it. And it does perform actually quite nice. I found that El Capitan was actually like, it was the shit. I loved that OS. It was very fast, very stable, but then a lot of programs got updated, like my Minecraft and stuff would no longer run. And I'm like, oh man, like, come on, really? You know, and we all have this, you know. So anyways, I'm running High Sierra. I'm all good. All my stuff's up to date, at least until the next OS. But I now have the install for El Capitan that I downloaded today from the Apple server, which I can now install that next to update my MacBook Pro. Now, there was talk also, I want to mention, there was also talk on a few videos and forums where they're talking about, well, can we put High Sierra or Sierra on the older MacBooks, okay, or older iMacs, etc. Well, guys said, well, there is a way to do it, you need this patch. And it's like, okay, and then you can only run regular, not high. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know how old those videos were or forum comments. I didn't really pay attention to the age dates. So anyways, let's go up to the App Store here. And this I found rather interesting. And this had said, let's go to Updates. Check this out. Mac OS High Sierra, your Mac evaluated, free upgrade. So I don't even need a patch is what this is saying. I am no way going to upgrade to High Sierra on this laptop, and the reason being is that it's going to slug down, okay? Right now with 4 gigs, it's not bad. It's actually pretty decent. Yeah, still no up. Oh, well, we'll get it checked. It will slug it down on 4 gigs. You need 8 gigs realistically for High Sierra or even regular Sierra. But 4 gig and 8 gig, you'll be fine with El Capitan, and you'll be good to go. So anyway, so I've done updates with El Capitan. These are the only updates I was given for El Capitan, or sorry, not El Capitan, my apologies, Yosemite. I was given these updates with Yosemite. iTunes, security update, Safari 10.12, remote desktop client, and remote desktop client update. Well, okay, they're both the same but different ones. Anyhow, so that's all I get. Now I can't get any more updates because that's it. Now this is running Yosemite on this computer. Now I'm going to take it to El Capitan because even Apple told me on the phone the other day, El Capitan is one of the still supported OSs. So get it while you can, folks, and download that sucker and put it to a USB stick. Because once that comes off the servers, that's it until you search the hell out of the internet again and have to find some video like the rest of us did to try and get even Yosemite. And that's a pain in the neck. Your only other way around any of this crap, by the way, is to take your computer into an Apple dealer. They will be more than happy to take your computer and reformat it and put on whatever OS, and it's going to cost you X amount of dollars. Now, in Canada here, I called one of our Apple repair places, and they wanted $159 to throw Yosemite on my computer. I'm like, not going to happen, right? Not unless you're going to provide me with a backup copy on a USB stick. Then, okay, maybe I might do this once. But then I thought, well, I also don't have 160 bucks. And this was before my dad called me about the CDs that he found. And I said, I can't do it. You know, I don't have the money. And, you know, this thing's just continually going into this one boot screen to try and install Yosemite. And it can't because it's not on the server, right? So, anyways, I was very happy my dad found the CDs. His thing was he never goes into that part of his laptop bag because he never used the CDs. You know, he got this thing when he bought it, and it had an OS on it when he got it. He just did whatever updates, and that was it, right? So he's never had to use the CDs. So he did find them at least, so I'm very happy for that. And then I'm back up and running. So that's how it goes. That's what you're going to have to go through a little bit, or maybe not go through, depending on your situation. But if you have an older Mac, period, that can run OS 10, and you want to even surf the internet, you need to be running Yosemite or higher. I'm not sure, maybe Mavericks you can get away with, but the biggest problem I ran into was, yeah, any version of Safari will run fine on any OS from Apple, but if you want to run Google Chrome or Firefox, you now have to run a minimum of Yosemite. It will not work. Well, it might work on Mavericks, but in my case, I couldn't even get Mavericks to go in. But, you know, it will not work on any version of Leopard or Snow Leopard. It must have probably Mavericks, I would imagine. But definitely, for sure, Yosemite and higher in order to run Google Chrome internet program or Firefox. So even the companies that are putting out web browsers are getting really sticky, you know, except for, of course, Apple. I mean, Safari is Safari, and they'll probably always allow it to be run on whatever. Yeah, it kind of sucks surfing with Safari, too. I hate Safari. It's one program that I really wish Apple would ditch because I personally don't like it, you know. I find it's very slow. Google Chrome is way faster than Safari, and a lot more goodies available in Chrome over Safari. But Safari was made to try and be fast, but very straightforward and plain Jane and easy to comprehend, which is fine, but I find it actually runs too sluggy for me. You know, I find Chrome is actually way, way quicker, and Chrome at least has really good security as well as Safari, which is fine, but I have my preferences like we all do. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for you there. Probably give me a little bit of time, and when I get to it, I will be doing a review on this MacBook. This is actually my first MacBook series from Apple. The very first laptop I ever got from Apple was a Power Macintosh 150. If you look that up, you'll see what that is. That was my very first Mac laptop I ever bought myself when I was in college. And that's going way back, like 1990. What was it? 96 I went to college, I think. It was a long time ago. Yeah. So lots changed over the years. But otherwise, I've had PC laptops. But so far, I'm really liking this. So far, we'll see how things go as we go with it. But as far as what it's going to get used for, I'm still up in the air with that. I have ideas, you know. But we'll go with it as we go. So anyways, thanks again. If you're not subbed to the channel, please sub. Oh, by the way, check the description in the video. I will give you the link, well, links actually, for downloading Yosemite, the file I got, as well as that disk program. If you are going to try and make your startup disk on a Mac that has already, I would say, at least Mac Sierra. If it has Mac Sierra on it, you will have to download the version 7 of the program because it's Sierra friendly. Version 5 is not. So, but version 5 is friendly for Snow Leopard, Leopard, Mavericks, and it would, I believe it's also friendly for Yosemite. I've got Disk Maker X5 here, and it should be friendly. Yeah. There we go. Which version of the OS do you wish to make a boot disk of? Mavericks, Yosemite, or El Capitan? Well, you would say 1010 Yosemite, or Yosemite, because that's what you're going to have for a download file. It may or may not work. It's hard to say. I don't know. But even it, I believe, if I remember right, had some specifics on the version of your OS. So I can't remember offhand. But anyways, guys, that's it. That's all. Thanks for watching. We'll definitely catch you on the next one. Ciao.